And I have so much fun creating this really simple and easy diorama. Don't forget to stay until the end to see the photos, but the material that I used was just a simple carton egg, some cardboard, even cardboard roll from a toilet paper. And the most important material was air clay from Sculpey. And this air clay, not only you can let it sit for 24 hours so it dries, but you can bake it if you want it just to be ready really fast. So I was amazed. To be honest, I had before get some air clay, and when I took them from the bag, I bought it and I had it like for a week, and then when I took it, it was completely sealed, and it happens that it was completely solid, so I couldn't do anything. I had a really bad experience. Still have it because I was thinking that maybe I can chisel my way and create something, but to be honest, in my mind, I hate it air clay. And I know some people love Dash. I need to try that, but this one is just amazing. So let's see how I work with this material, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about it and give you some tips. So let's start with this material. I was surprised how soft it is. It's super soft. If you need to conditioning, remember you just have to be squishing it and try to play around with it until it's really soft. But for me, at least, since I opened the bag, I was able to just with my hands being able to take some pieces and start putting it on my aluminum foil. So one of the things that I suggest always working creating a sculpture after you've done your armature is completely create first the shape. I have to say that I had to let it dry for 24 hours. I didn't know that I could put it on my oven 200 Fahrenheit I believe for 20 minutes and it would have been ready. So I had to wait 24 hours and I was able later to put all the details. But I was impressed. I thought it wasn't going to be solid enough, but it was amazing. It reminded me too that I was working with like cement. If you have seen my channel, I have created some sculptures with cement, and it's almost the same thing. You have to work with water. Now, if you want to make sure that everything is completely smooth, if you want to put pieces together, I always like to put some water. Remember, like any clay or cement, just to put some marks and put the pieces together. Otherwise, it will, if you let it dry a little bit, you're gonna be able to push them together, but you're gonna see that later, a few minutes later, if you touch it, it will just fall apart. So it's really important that either you put the parts together right away when you are working with it without letting it dry. Like I'm talking about a few minutes, it will glue together, but if you need to be working and you let it dry for a little bit, you will need to put that water to be able to make sure that it bonds. Otherwise, you're gonna have to use white glue to be able just to glue it together. So another thing is that it stays in your hands. It becomes hard, air dry. So I don't suggest to wash your hands on the sink because you're gonna have pieces of this material like tiny rocks, and probably that's not what you want. So I suggest, just like cement, having a bucket of water close by so you can just kind of wash your hands there. And another thing that Sculpey suggests is to have a material that is not porous, like just having metal or aluminum foil, because it's a messy material, no? And more when it dries, it could be a little bit of like dust, or at least that's what happened to me. So just be aware of that. That could be messy. I was surprised. It was amazing how easy it was to work with this material. Like any other clay, if it gets too wet, it's gonna be hard to manage or to create details with tools. So have that in mind also. But now that we have this punching bag, let's create our scene. And like I mentioned before, I'm gonna have some photos at the end. I could have done maybe a short film because I was having so much fun. It was just so late at night that I wanted to really keep going, but I have just to take some shot quickly. So you're gonna see how my Ninja Turtle is gonna be punching this bag, starting to do the scene. It's really simple. I know that probably for some people will say, well, there's not really a lot of details, but my point is for someone that maybe doesn't think they can do something because they are not familiar with crafting things, or they don't think they're really good, this could be really simple. So let's start doing that. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our a cardboard, and we're gonna cut it in pieces. Long time ago I did, if you haven't seen it, a chimney for my Pinocchio short film that I did in this channel. If you want to know how I did puppets and things like that, you can check that. I'm gonna leave the links on the description, but the most important thing is that I'm gonna use the same technique, just cutting the carton egg in tiny rectangles. I have to say that one of the mistakes that I did with this one is that I did it a little bit too big. When I was creating mine, I also was cutting it too big, and when I realized that my Ninja Turtle was so small, I just went back and did it even more smaller. But that created some weird shapes, which I think it add character to my wall, so I don't mind. But now that we have them, we need to glue them to our piece of cardboard, and we have to do that one by one, just with white glue. So really simple. You just go creating lines to make sure that the line above doesn't align, and that will create the brick effects more effectively. So now that we have that, there it is. I have this. I'm gonna add more detail because, to be honest, I wasn't even sure what I wanted to do. So I grabbed the roll of toilet paper, the cardboard, and I just cut it in one piece, and I added on the corner because I want to have like this water running. And also I created just with a bigger one, with one of those rolls of the paper towel. With that one, I just cut it, and I kind of roll it to create this kind of pipe. That's gonna be my idea. That is the kind of pipe. You have to be careful where are the seams. I can see some lines, so I wasn't happy at the end. But so now what we're gonna do is paint. The best thing always, at least for me, if I want to create something realistic, is to paint, to give a coat of black. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna paint it like that, and like you can see, this is the result. You cannot feel like you're losing details, but that's why you come and paint the bricks. To be honest, you can do it completely red. You can try to just go around it. I start to do one by one, which I think that would have maybe look a little better. I'm not really sure, but because I was just taking too much time, I just decided to go all over, and that creates that some of the red paint goes in between the bricks. So I think that could be a good effect, but could be a bad effect. So I don't know what you think. And after I'm done, I'm gonna paint my two metal parts, my drain and my pipe. I'm gonna paint it with just silver, and I'm gonna glue them just with white glue. Really simple. And then the idea is to have the floor, and to be able to put some water, and to be able to put my Ninja Turtle in the middle. So I didn't have a lot of paint. It was really late at night, like always. So I just decided to paint the floor silver, thinking that I may get away without photographing too much the floor. And I created my running water just with UV resin. To be honest, it didn't turn out the best. I was trying to put acrylic paints to see if when I put the resin on top, it will kind of see through, and I was able to see some colors, which it happens, just the color wasn't that good. And if you have seen other videos where I have color resin, I didn't have the color for the resin. That's why I did it this way, just if someone wants to know. You're gonna see the photos in a minute, but this is my punching bag. I wasn't really gonna paint it blue, but just I wanted to have separation from the background. Now it looks too dark, so it could have been that would have worked out, but just in case I did it, well, this is my set. So really simple, but kind of like it. I don't know, you can see the running water that I did. It's a little bit dark on the, but what do you think about the wall? I really love the wall. My bricks, I think I improved from the chimney. And now let's see the photos. Subscribe. Remember that this is an art channel where I do mainly sculpting, from 3D printing to cement to polymer clay to any type of clay, now air clay, and more. So subscribe, comment below, enjoy art, enjoy creating your own dioramas, and take photos. See you next time. And don't forget to check my other videos. See you next time.